Hello, I'm Frederico van der Kellen, your host, and welcome to Remotely Speaking, the podcast that shows the challenges and opportunities of the remote world. Since our workday has dramatically changed, it became necessary for us to adapt faster than ever to the present reality. So, debating the topic remote has presented us with an urgent matter. Several talking points were chosen in order to enrich this podcast: work, teams and career management, home office productivity, nomad life, work-life balance, and so on. So we really want to provide our listeners and viewers with cutting-edge information, tips, points of view based on testimonials and experiences. So don't miss our updates. Now it's time to welcome Miguel Campos to Remotely Speaking. He is here to provide us with his expertise, answer some questions, and share some pieces of advice about his story and his experience in the field of public sector. The topic of today's podcast is how the public sector has adapted to the pandemic times. Hi, Miguel.
Hi, how are you, Frederico?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Just for our listeners and viewers, Miguel started by collaborating in the IT and R&D, research and development departments of public companies, and since 2006, he has been working in private companies that develop IT projects and services for the public administration. So the contact actually with Prime IT, where Miguel is currently working at, came naturally to the big bet that the company, Prime IT and Prime Group, are making in the public sector for next years. So Miguel is currently senior executive and public sector lead at Prime IT. Once again, Miguel, thank you for joining us. We are really happy to have you here.
It's my pleasure, and I thank you for the invitation. And I'm very excited to be part of this podcast and can join this kind of situation to explain and to transmit some knowledge about this sector.
For sure. And before we get started with the questions, is there anything that you would like to share with our viewers or listeners about your experience and a little bit about your your story in the public sector and in digital transformation?
Okay, so I have 20 years of experience in this sector, always connected to the digital transformation, the digital implementation, all of the kinds of things that are connected to digital. So these 20 years of experience in public companies and in private companies like today, I have collected some experience about how to transform and what is the challenges, what is the actions that we need to implement the real transformation. And I think that in this podcast, we will talk about some ideas that are implemented, some ideas that are not implemented, but it's very important to implement. And I think that I will try to explain my point of view about what is going well and what is not going so well. So I am very excited to join this podcast and share my ideas and my point of views.
For sure, and the idea is for us as per any podcast that we have is that to have a kind of very interactive and flowing conversation and healthy discussion on what are the topics in this case that are surrounding the public sector and digital transformation. So I would like to start with my first question would be, could you or can you somehow present us the status of the digital transformation and innovation in the public sector?
Yes, I will explain here in Portugal what is happened, and the digital transformation had a great boost from the public sector in Portugal. And now we are part of the D9 Plus group. It's the 12 most digital countries in the European Union. Many projects were implemented by the public sector, putting Portugal on the top of the wave. In a way, we can say that the pandemic, which unfortunately devastated us, gave reason to all investments in digital. In this phase of pandemic situation, it was possible to continue life in a completely digital way. And it was, for example, possible to renew the citizen card or request official documents and even make business of real estate from home. So I think that the digital transformation status in Portugal is very nice at this moment because we have many platforms, many infrastructures. But I think that you will ask me in
There's
the
a but.
next questions what is the challenges that we face, because we have many challenge. We are in this group, the D9 plus, but many things are okay, but not all of the things are okay at this moment. And
That's my. Let me just interrupt you there. That would be my next question would be actually to actually explore a little bit in your view what are the main challenges that are is the public sector facing at the moment regarding digital transformation. Even before that, is there anything in terms of the, like you said, in terms of the present status of the digital transformation in the public sector? What would you highlight in terms of that status? You mentioned, of course, that Portugal is on the top of the wave when it comes to digital transformation, if we are talking about European Union. And in your opinion, how did we, as a country, Portugal, evolve in that path? So how did we? Because that's very interesting to know that Portugal
yes.
became or is one of the top countries when it comes to digital transformation in terms of platforms. So what can you tell us more about that?
Yes, Portugal for the last 10, 12 years have many investments about the platforms, digital platforms that can distribute to the citizens the possibility to be a digital citizen. When you talk about the citizen card, the passport, or the chave digital, that is the digital key, for all of the needs you have about the public sector, for official documents, for some transactions, the renew of the citizen card and other documents. You have the concentration of all of these things in a only one platform, and you can manage and work about all of the things about in these documents with only access with only one password. So this is a real transformation because you have many ministries, you have many services, and for 10 years ago you have to go by your foot to the build where have some representation of some ministry or some public service, and you have a large queue of people that are looking for the same thing at the same day at the same hour. And now it is really a thing that stays in the past. And for me, I'm a digital citizen. Not all of us are, but I'm one of the digital citizens because I work in digital and I know the benefits. And for me,
what would be for you, or what if you can explain to what does entail, or what would be the definition of a digital citizen?
so a digital citizen is a citizen that use the digital to benefit from this. So you can know what is digital. You can have a laptop or a desktop or a smartphone or a tablet, but to be a digital citizen, you have to use the services, to know the services, and to explore it, and to take the benefits. Not all of them, but some of them that are really important for your day life. And okay, I need a new citizen card, and I'm in a pandemic situation. So how can I do? I can't go to a physical local to take a new card. So but I need it. If you have this digital key, you can do it from your computer, from your laptop. But some people don't know it or don't know how to operate it.
Okay. So basically, it's my my ability or my knowledge in terms of using my technological devices to improve the quality of my life or
Yes, yes, your daily life, because
my daily
many
life.
people have the interface, have the infrastructure, but don't have the skills, don't have the literacy.
Manipulate that device or that platform.
Yes, yes, or the platform that you can take these services, and this is one of the challenge that I would like to tell you is that the digital empowerment. What is a digital empowerment to everyone? That are identified in the PRR, the Recovery and Resilience Plan for Portugal, that are implemented. It was approved last week, and now we'll start the implementation. And one of the pillars, the main pillars of this PRR, is a digital transformation. And one of the biggest challenge for the public sector is this empowerment. How can I empower people that are not so digital, that are not a digital citizen by definition? How can I empower? Because if in one hand we have the best digital platforms and applications, on the other hand, the digital illiteracy is a great challenge to overcome. And I have to make some capacitation. I have to make some classes where these no digital citizens can join and take some understanding about this idea of digital and implement in a daily
That's very
basis.
interesting. Yep, that's very interesting what you're saying because on one hand, you mentioned that Portugal is one of the countries that are at the top when it comes to have digital transformation and technology elements and technology platforms. On the other hand, we are not expanding that to everyone or to a large piece of the population. Is that right? So we have more technology than people using it.
Yes. So what's happened? We have this gap. Many people are not in the digital
Yeah.
era.
Yeah.
So are some people that maybe some of these people think I'm too old for this,
All right.
and this is not
I
a good
cannot
thing.
learn anymore.
Yes, I'm told no, because the world is digital and I'm not too old for this. If I want to be part of the world, I have to make this transformation in myself too.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the idea of the digital empowerment for everyone, is because we have to go to all of these kind of structure of society, kind of age that someone can have, and put the idea that the digital is life. In this moment, if you are not digital, you are outside of the world. So it's something like that. And we know, everyone know in digital that it was a question of time. But the pandemic situation make a big boost, and maybe this year, 1 year and a half of pandemic situation, it's like 10 or 20 years of acceleration of the digital impact, the very digital impact at this moment. So the digital is here to stay, and we must be able to include everyone who is not yet a digital citizen. And this challenge, in addition to training, can also involve raising awareness of the layers of society that are away from the digital, through campaigns that bring access to those who, by choice or social issues, are not yet a digital citizen. Because you can choose to be a non-digital citizen because I'm too old, because I don't like it, because I don't trust. Many reasons you can say, or you can have some social issue that we must have the the idea to resolve. How can we resolve it? So when we think about it, it's a real important, the integration, the complete integration of all of us in the digital era.
So, and now talking, and you've started talking a little bit already about the challenges. What other challenges, in your opinion, are the public sector facing regarding digital transformation? You've mentioned, obviously, and it's a very pertinent point, the digital literacy that is somehow taking place in our society in Portugal in this case. What other challenges are we facing, or is the public sector facing when it comes to digital transformation, in your opinion?
The public sector have now some programs of capacitation and transformation of some employees of this sector, because many people join the public sector to work from 25 years ago, and at this moment the digital situation is not the same, and the last 20 years it's a huge boost in the digital. And now one of the challenge and the action to this challenge is this capacitation, a large capacitation that public sector and the government decide to implement, and it's already start, and it's one of the big important issues that we have to resolve. Other challenge, it's when you develop so many platforms, when you develop so many different ways to do the same thing, you have to know how to integrate and how to join all of these kind of platforms in one service, only in one service.
Okay.
Here in Portugal, you have the implementation in 2008, the citizen card. The citizen card integrates 5 old cards.
It's the cartão de cidadão, right?
Yes, cartão de cidadão, the citizen card. In Portugal, it's 5 the 5 old cards of health, of social security, of identification, of
your tax ID, right?
tax ID. And so at this moment you have one card, but 2008, it's like more than 12 years ago. That starts the big implementation of the citizen card in Portugal. But this card, you have a pin. You can put the card with his chip in your laptop or in a device that can read the card, and you can ask for official documentation. And you receive this documentation in your email, and you don't have to go to a ministry or a public service physically.
So what you can do is that the chip that we have in our citizen card, we can remove that chip and insert it in a device that reads that chip. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you can. You don't have to remove the chip. You have only to insert the card with the chip in a reader, in the device that reads the card, and you can ask if you have the PIN, and if you have activated this PIN, you can do it by the citizen card. But from 5 years, 6 years ago, in Portugal, the government launched the digital key, the chave digital, how we say in Portuguese. And this digital key dispenses the citizen card, and you can do the same thing with this key. If you have a phone, you receive a message with a code, you activated it in a portal, and you can make the same thing without a reader, without a card, only with ID and a phone.
Amazing.
And you can ask for all of the things.
So if I lose or if my documents are stolen,
yes, you have this digital key, and you can do the same thing with the digital key that you do with the citizen card. So this is a real digital world.
Aware of that. So
and many people don't know about it because are not so involved or are not so digital, or some divulgation that it's need
Can be a
to
challenge,
be
right?
done
To make.
about this idea, this service or this digital key. And I'm only explain one or two examples. If
Yeah.
we have more time, I can explain you like 5, 10, 12 examples of how many platforms or how many services that we have, and many people don't know, and some people don't know how. They can know that is possible, but don't know how to do it. And I think this is the very big challenge. It's to promote the ideas, it's to join more people in these services, to explain more, to include, to empower. This is a very important challenge.
Yeah, that leads me to my next question, which is, in your view, in your perspective, what does the public sector need to invest in? Would it be fair to say that uh, making the information more available and accessible to everyone would be a good starting point when it comes to investment from the public sector, or what other options you think would be more viable in terms of the investments that the public sector should do?
I think that we have to invest in training and awareness. I
Okay.
think this is the main investment that we have to take, and continue to invest in innovative platforms and infrastructures that we are really now in a good way, and we are in the D9 plus group. We have many services, but we have to train the people and to make some awareness around these services. Like I told some minutes ago, the digital is here to stay, and
To keep growing and to keep
yes,
growing.
to keep growing, to stay and keep growing. And it's really important to include everyone. And to include everyone, it's not only to say that everyone must join the digital. You can you can tell it for the people, but it's not sufficient to make the real integration that is needed at this moment, because like we talk a little bit in the last minutes, we are in a digital world. The pandemic situation make it very fast. Maybe in 1 year we grow 10 years in digital implementation, and now we can make many things. Not all of the things, but I think that many things. And the most important things we can do by digital at this moment.
So in a way, what you're saying is that somehow the pandemic and all this situation that we're living in since more than a year, since more than a year than 1 year, actually we were forced to be less physically available. So somehow, would it be fair to say that somehow that made the technology and digital transformation be more transformational, let's say? So
Yes, I think that in
faster
this.
because of it, because of the situation we found ourselves in. So there was this need to, okay, let the digital transformation to be to keep growing and growing faster than usual, or faster than
Yes.
would.
I think that we have this boost of the digital implementation, not only transformation but implementation. When if you remember, the schools are not open for 3 months, the last 3 months of the last year, and teachers and the students have to start the digital era of
Yeah,
the classroom.
and the
And
e-learning courses, and yeah, all that.
and there is no choice. It's the only way to do it, and we have to do it. So in 1 month or 1 month and a half, the ministry, the teachers, the schools, the directors, the students, have to implement the digital way of make the classrooms. And this is a real nice example. How can it be possible? In 1 month and a half, you can make more transformation because there is no way out.
Yeah, exactly. So
Than
yeah.
in 5 years or in 10 years, because it's really neat. So I think that the digital is for everyone. Everyone can join the digital. If you by choice don't join, you have to review the choice. You have to think about it and to see what you are doing and what you are losing to be anti-digital. And if you have some social issue that are make you not so digital, you have to tell it to the right persons and to the right services to have some help to be possible, because at the classrooms and the students in the last year, some students don't have connection, and
They're
some,
living in remote places, so they
yes,
what
don't have
connection.
connection, don't have devices.
Mhm.
So what happened? Many people join and try to try to see some solutions and ask from some companies, from some persons that have devices that are not in use for this moment or at this moment in the last year. And I think that in the big number that are not connected or that don't have or didn't have the devices, the solution was found at some moment. And I don't know the real number, but I think that many people can assist to the classes even at the start of this new era, don't have the connection or the device, but somehow the solution was found. And I think that it was a really nice transformation, not only digital but social. And when the human being shows these best thinkings and these best ideas, is when we share some some
Yeah.
some devices and share some resources to all of the people that are not so digital, can be digital.
I wish we would have more time. I still have one last question that is somehow related to the previous one. When you mentioned that, in your opinion, the public sector should invest in awareness and in training. In that direction, uh, what actions can governments and governmental organisms can take, not only in that direction in terms of training and awareness, but what actions in general can, in your opinion, governments and governmental institutions take in order to make those improvements that we've been talking about?
Yes, I think that in my opinion, we have four biggest actions. The number one is to promote awareness actions. But how to promote? We know that awareness is very important, because in the previous question I told it. But to promote awareness actions, we have to go to the schools. We have to go to the social hubs where some citizens are at this kind of difficulties to can join the digital way or the digital citizen 100%. And this promotion of awareness is to show that your life could be better if you are digital. So I think that first of all, you have to make this awareness, because many people don't trust in digital. Says that the digital are not a good way to ask for an official document, because some hacker can take these documents, or there are some issues that you have to
Lack of trust.
destruct. Yes, and this is the action awareness is that is to show that okay, there is some problems at the digital way of living, but there are little percent of the actions. There are not 100%.
And it's still worth.
It's 1% or 2%. So we have to make it. In second, is empower the largest number of citizens in digital. So you make first awareness, and okay, some of the citizens that are away from the digital with this awareness, okay, I will give a chance for the digital. Okay, it's what we want for this awareness action, and now it's empower. To empower is to bring training, to show some cases, to make some real examples, to have some citizens that was at the same stage, and then the transformation, and with the awareness and the empower now are a digital citizen, a full digital citizen, and maybe with 100 years I'm digital too. I don't know. I don't. It's not only for who have 20 years or 21. It's for all of us. And then when you make the awareness and the empower with training, with examples, with experimentation, you have to continue to develop the innovative and digital systems because you can't interrupt. Here at this moment, there is a gap, a significant gap between the platforms and the infrastructure and the skills of all of the citizens. So if you can short this gap, you have to continue to develop platforms because you can't stop it. There is some actualizations, some technical actualizations, some infrastructure actualizations that are needed because in digital everything is going with a very fast velocity. You can't stop because if you buy a device in 3 years or 4 years, this device is obsolete. So you have to be careful. And for the fourth action or the fourth main idea, it's to integrate the awareness, the empower, and the develop of the platforms and the infrastructure in a way that you can show to everyone this is a real cycle, and you have to be in the center of this cycle. And this is like a kind of show view of all of this triangle that we have always to be awareness, empower, and develop new platforms and develop the digital transition that we need.
Actually, I said this was the last question, but as I was listening to you, and it was so interesting to gather these insights from you, I still want to have this that I didn't had planned this question, but I want to ask you because I asked you what are the actions that the governments can take. What about us? For example, if I want myself, Frederico, if I want to be proactive and become more digital aware, are there any actions that I can take to go towards the information and not waiting in a passive role for the information to come to me? So obviously there are some things that the governments should, they have that responsibility and they're accountable for that. But on the other hand, if I want to be proactive, and if we as a community we want to be proactive in going towards that information, what can we do to proactively become digital aware?
This is a real nice question because I think this is a question that can make the real difference. Because for me, Miguel, I'm a citizen and I want to be more digital and I want to influence my family, my colleagues at work to be more digital. So I think that if you want to lead by example, it's the best way to lead. It's
All
by
right.
example. You can make your citizen card, like the cartão de cidadão. You can take your PIN just to make all of the operations that you need to do, and at your work or in your family, you show everyone how it's simple to get the official document, and you put the card in your device and you show. So I need some official document, the official document A. How many time you need to take it? I don't know. Maybe I have to go to the public services for the next week, and I have to be 4 hours at the queue just to get the first part of the document, and then I have to wait one more week. Forget it. In 5 minutes, I take it for you. So this is the real example and the real way. I think that no one can tell you anything about the digital doesn't work or it's not necessary. No, I make a document in 5 minutes, and maybe you will go for the next week 4 hours and then wait one week, and then no, I have the document at my device, and I can print it in my printer, my home printer or my office printer, and everything is okay. So I think that if you want to lead by example, or if you want to make your idea to show everyone that is real important to be digital, it's real nice, it's real cool, it's the quality that you can extract from these kind of services. I think that make some examples, make some public examples. When you see the YouTubers, if you make one YouTuber ask for some document or some services, and maybe this YouTuber can film what he's doing and
Right.
show it
Yeah.
in his channel, I think this is a very nice promotion. And I can tell you, if you want to be a digital an example of digital citizen, you have to know everything that is working on the platforms. You have to know all of the initiatives that are working at this moment. No. If you make some examples, nice examples, simple, it could be some simple examples, but if you make it, it's a real transformation you are making too. So I think that take your citizen card, take your
That's the
PIN,
word.
and start to ask for documents. I always every day I saw some examples, and I implement for my daily life some ideas of the digital services. And I don't know how for so long I'm not going to a queue for anything. And if I think that I have to go
That would
and
be
stay two
that
hours,
would be a dream for a lot of people. That would be like paradise for a lot
but
of
this
people.
is a real dream, and it's possible. For me, that I'm a digital for 10 years ago, I'm starting with these services to implement in my professional life and to use like a digital citizen. I start to implement the idea that there is no queues. I don't have to go to a service and stay 4 hours in waiting for my turn, and ask for a document that I have to wait 1 month. For me, this is not the real world at this moment. I don't know what it is, because I lost this information. It was bad information. That's so we clean this bad information very very quick, because we are in a world that everything is more easy and more fast. And if you tell me, Miguel, for the next week you have to go to a service and stay 2 hours, it's impossible for me. It will not happen with me, because I will find a way to make it digital. And even it doesn't exist, I will propose a way to make it. So I think that if we all want to be digital and show digital to people that are not so digital at this moment, we can make some real examples and show. This is, I think, this is the most important way to make our paper at this transformation.
Definitely. Miguel, thank you very much for this insightful conversation and for your tips, For sure, they're more than useful, and we need to really start spreading the word on how we can become more digital aware of what's going on, and with that improve our lives. Thank you once again. It was a pleasure to have you. As for us, make sure you join us on Facebook and Instagram. We are Prime Group. Also, don't miss a bit about what we are doing at Prime Group. So reach us out on LinkedIn. Also visit our website, weareprime.com. We will share the links to our social media on the description below, and you're also very welcome to our digital house, our website. And we're sharing the video of this nice chat with Miguel on our YouTube channel, so you can search for Prime Group on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe. Click on your like, dislike, leave your comments. The important thing is that you share what we are doing, and you're more than welcome to join our online community. So it will be a pleasure to have you there. See you next time. Take care.